Here I share with you my aperture settings when photographing portraits. As a professional photographer, I have gained much knowledge over the years on what aperture settings are best for specific situations. Generally speaking, when shooting portraits, photographers want to isolate the person and nicely blur the background. Unless you are shooting a holiday snapshot, the background is normally unimportant. Therefore, that's what I'll focus on in this post. Quick formula rules. If I'm photographing one person, I use the lowest aperture number my lens will allow, which is normally f/2.8. Note, not all lenses go that low, but good portrait lenses do. When photographing 2 or 3 people, I change my camera's aperture setting to f/4. 4 or more people, I set f/5.6 aperture. When photographing portraits, it's important to make sure the people are sharp. Not everyone's eyes will be nice and sharp if you are setting up a group shot with an aperture of f/2.8. Take this image below for example, where I've taken a shot of 2 people on the lowest aperture my lens would go, f/2.8. Notice only one of the model's faces are in sharp focus. This is because the blonde-haired model tilted her head somewhat back further in distance than the other. It wasn't long before I noticed my error and adjusted my aperture to f/4 using the rules listed above. Why not simply set a high aperture to start with? The higher you set your aperture number, the more detail you'll see in the photo. This isn't always good for portrait photography. Wrinkles, pimples and other unwanted blemishes will suddenly appear multiplied. The secret to being a great portrait photographer is to hide such imperfections. Personally, I always aim for sharp eyes, but softness in other areas. Take this photo that I shot of a teenage girl below for example. Quick rundown on those basic rules again. 1 person, use the lowest aperture setting your lens will allow. 2 or 3 people, set an aperture number f/4. 4 or more, group shots, set f/5.6 aperture. Keep it simple and you'll never have any problems photographing portraits.